Welcome or welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday evening. It's about 10:30. Just having a late night little hot drink. A little hot drink. I would like to talk about something that means something to me. And I'll probably do a series of these videos going forward for Mondays. I'd like to start with something that probably means more to me than anything else I will discuss in the future, and that is guitar. I was raised on some great guitar music. Thin Lizzy, Dire Straits, the Beatles, you could say, as well. Maybe a little bit of Rolling Stones, a bit of Deep Purple, perhaps. Much more, but hard to list it when I'm putting myself on the spot like this. I think it was the Christmas where I just turned 13, because my birthday is the 23rd of December. I think it was that Christmas where I got my first guitar, which was a nylon string, Spanish style, classical guitar. And I remember being quite disappointed by it. I think I was hoping for something else, maybe a steering wheel for my video games. It's funny to look back and think about that, because what an impact guitar has had on my life. I think had I not had it, I could have gone down a very dangerous path, mentally, because of some of the challenges that I faced and overcome in my life. I think for the first 6 months to a year, I used to lie the guitar down on my lap, and I would reach over and I'd play on the neck with my thumb, flicking the string with my other thumb to make a sound. Just learning that you have to press down to make a different note. I would eventually have a couple of months worth of lessons, one a week for half an hour. Not a lot really, but enough to teach me some of the basics, some bar chords, some open chords, and a couple of scales, mainly just the pentatonic. But that was enough to make me see that I wanted to learn. I did. It meant something to me. It has always been, since that moment, a great release for me. Whatever you're feeling that day, you can pick your guitar up and you can express yourself through it. And the better you get, the more you can express yourself the way in which you really feel. The more clearly you can express yourself. Let me finish this. Before it goes cold. I remember initially wanting to learn because of my dad. He'd always wanted to learn how to play. I remember him telling me this. He had a couple of piano lessons as a kid. I think they were forced on him. And he always wanted to learn how to play guitar. Initially, I kind of did it for him. But it soon became very personal. I got into Jimi Hendrix. I think he is the first one for a lot of people. He still is the Jesus of rock guitar, really, to a lot of us in the community, which is vast. The way he played is still so original. I mean, the way he would link chords with beautiful melodies and lines didn't just sound like he was running scales. He sounded very, I want to use the word lyrical. I don't think that's quite the word, but I think you might know what I mean. When I realized I couldn't play like Jimi Hendrix at that point in time, I set my sights elsewhere. I got into a band called Creed. Very popular band. I didn't realize that they were one of those bands that you were kind of supposed to hate. They were the Nickelback of their time, I guess. I just thought they had great songs, great guitar sound, great melodies. And the guitar parts in my formative years were quite easy to pick up. A lot of different tunings and things like that, which was a great thing for my ear to develop an understanding of different tunings and what they could do. And really, Mark Tremonti, the guitar player, with Creed and later with Alter Bridge, who I love, and then with his solo stuff as well. He had a real impact on my songwriting, I'd say, more than anything. Potentially my riff writing, which ties into songwriting really. And I'd say he's one of the bigger influences and inspirations to me in all my years of playing. I would then get into Steve Vai, but again, like Hendrix, I couldn't quite replicate what I was hearing. And Steve was one of those players who the ear needs to adjust to Steve Vai. He plays and writes in a certain way. It's kind of clever, I guess. Clearly a student of theory, a wealth of knowledge of the instrument and music in general. A brilliant guy to listen to playing and actually to listen to speaking. Very inspirational, very wise, very kind, very understanding of lots of things, which is great. A wonderful role model, really. I think, other than Tremonti, the player who had the biggest impact on me was actually Yngwie Malmsteen. And Yngwie is a funny one because I've heard Yngwie play lots of things, but he seems to just like to play that same thing, and he gets a lot of stick for that, but that's who he is, that's his sound, that's what he loves. I think people should be allowed to do what they want to do. Some of his earlier stuff remains particularly his first solo album, remains the Bible of shred guitar. That is the foundation upon which so much was built. I mean, when I say shred, I mean fast guitar playing. And it's not something I'm particularly great at. I realized my limitations. There just are some things my hands do not want to do, and I have to accept that. What are you going to do? But I did adopt a lot of Yngwie-isms, Malmsteen-isms, in my playing, and they stay with me today. I think it's a John Mayer quote, another wonderful guitar player and songwriter and singer. He said something like, you develop your sound when you fail to sound exactly like the person you're trying to sound like. So in failing to sound exactly like Hendrix and Tremonti and Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen and Michael Romeo from Symphony X, I've ended up sounding like myself, I hope. I've managed to reach a level where I think my bass level, even if I don't play for a while, I can pick it up, and my bass level is good enough to express myself quite well, and to sound hopefully quite good. I would say I'm quite a good guitar player. Certainly not one of the best, absolutely not, but it doesn't frustrate me anymore. I can just pick it up and say what I want to say with it, which is great. It's really cool. And I can write what I want to write. And I'd like to do more of that sort of thing. It's all about finding the time, the energy, the drive, the moment of inspiration. It kind of has to all come together at once, which is difficult as a family man who doesn't really have a room he can go to do that sort of thing. But time will come. It always does. Sometimes you have to make it, but sometimes you have to force it. But I do think it will come. I love guitar for the sound of it, the look of it. I've been through quite a few of them. I often end up selling them because I need the money, and then I really regret selling them. I've had a couple of Stratocasters, and I really regret selling them. I've had a Kramer Pacer Classic, which I think was the guitar for me, and I sold that as well. I think I've learned my lesson now, but unfortunately I'm stuck with a very low budget guitar that's passable, but quite genuine. I think I deserve a little bit better, so hopefully I can get back to one of the ones I had before that I know fits me like a glove, especially that Kramer Pacer Classic. I like to make more music. I like to listen to more music. I'd like to hopefully own a few more guitars when finances allow. And I'd like to see where some of these newer players take it. There's some wonderful players that have emerged since it became more a case of social media pushing the music industry. I've seen guys like Rabia Masad, Rick Graham, Daniele Guitado. Some phenomenal players. I'm forgetting a bunch of them right now. It's really frustrating. But there's so many out there, I can go on all day. I really could, about past and present players that I admire. It's a wonderful thing to learn an instrument. It doesn't have to be guitar, but to learn an instrument that you can express yourself on, that you can improvise with and write music with. It expands your mind. I think it makes you more open-minded. I think it fulfills a primal thing within humans. I do. I would recommend it to anyone, no matter how old you are. Pick something up, give it a go. You might be surprised by what it does for you. I think we'll wind this video down. I don't have too much more to say that I can realistically put in here. Otherwise it would be a video that would just go on all day. So I'm going to say good night or rest well. If you're still awake and you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe for more content. I'm trying to release a video every Monday and Wednesday. Intending to do a series on Monday of things I love. I'm just going to sit and talk about them. So hopefully that'll be cool. Anyway, take care. Rest well, sleep tight, whatever it is you're doing. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you